Now this is Slinkertube. If you look, it's a picture of the Louvre. Down the bottom left-hand side, if you can see, tiny little photo. What he does, he uses railway toys. You know the little railway sets, the little people? And he puts them in context with the world around them. And literally, if you see this one close up now, that's what it is. Now, okay, that's very high tech and very professional, but the concept is brilliant. There's humor in what he does. I think it's very clever, and it's a great way to engage, because most young people, most children will have toys, and what a way to get them and their parents working together, because very often toys are for children and parents don't necessarily relate to or engage or play with. And I think these are a brilliant example to show how that can be done. This is one we took to show you how you can do it with Lego. But Lego particularly is brilliant, and it's very simple to put in a context there. There are some great websites and there's some great apps, particularly apps, where you can then put in speech bubbles or convert that into a comic as well. This is November, and it's parents in America, a set of parents who in November every year they take their children's toy dinosaurs and they put them in situations. And when the kids wake up at night, excuse me, this is what your dinosaurs have been up to. And it's a very clever idea. This is Wordle, and literally that text that I took from Wordle is a website, wordle.net. It's an open source website. Literally what you do, you put in text, you cut and paste text or text that you've created. And in this example, what I've done, I've taken text completely from a boring definition from, well, maybe not that, well, it's a definition from Wikipedia, it's what it is. And I cut and paste, it randomizes, it selects and creates random text forms. So the words that are used more feature more prominently, they're larger. That's one example. And then you can print these, or what I've done is used a screen grab. Most PCs or your phones you can screen grab on. So you literally, back to basics, figure out what sort of a story, moving is still, work out who the audience are for, quite important, very often overlooked. If young people, if kids are making the work, they will often want to make it for their peers. And that'll obviously determine the or influence the language used and the images and all, etc. Last bit I'm going to talk about here is what sort of equipment. I've talked about, I'm using a MacBook. Okay, well, they're expensive, but literally, I'm sure everyone in school has access to a PC. I'm sure most parents, maybe some, depends on the area you're working in, but they would have access even at home or in the library or possibly in your school to this, or most people now will have a smartphone with internet access, and literally that's all you need. It doesn't take a whole lot of data for most of this. It doesn't really impact very much on the bill, particularly if they're using Wi-Fi, it won't impact at all. It's only if they're over 3G. So uploading images and data, and it's all quite possible to do.